Hey guys, I just want to take you through the worksheet for the purpose, audience, context, tone worksheet. All right. So this is a good way to analyze pieces of writing. It's also a good way to create certain pieces of writing. All right. So you're going to need to think about what type of text is it? What kind of writing is it? Is it a narrative? Is it an evaluation? Okay, saying something, whether something's good or bad. Is it an explanation, explaining something? Is it a review, a diary letter, description, poem, essay, speech? Is it just advice, an argument, an instruction, an advertisement, a leaflet, a poster? Okay, all different types of texts. But why has it been written? Okay, so what is the writer trying to do? Are they going to argue something? Are they explaining something? Evaluating something? Persuading, instructing, entertaining, informing, describing, analysing, recounting? Okay, all different purposes. Some of them might have more than one. All right. Now, who is the audience aimed at? Okay, is the writing for adults, children, teenagers, pensioners, men, women, people with a specific interest, i.e. film fans? Okay, so like a blog about Star Wars may not be targeted at everyone. It's only targeting Star Wars fans. It might be targeting parents. It might be looking at, what to expect when you're having a baby. It might be specifically new parents or, likely to be new parents. It might be targeting professionals. It might be a business magazine. Okay. So while other people might read them, they are not specifically who it's targeting. Now that can affect things like word choice and vocabulary and also assumed knowledge. You assume that those people who are into Star Wars, into business, who care about babies might have some knowledge already, and you write expecting them to have that knowledge. Okay, so context. What information will your audience require? What do they already know? Like I said, you think about your audience, you might think about what they already know and what they're going to need to know. All right, and when you're analyzing, this is when you're writing. What do you need to consider there? Now, when analyzing a text, you consider what was the context in which it was written. Okay, is it an old text? And the viewpoint and the language choices and the opinions are old. Okay, they're outdated maybe. They might be from a time when, racism was everywhere and no one really questioned it. And we know that that's wrong and that everyone's equal. Okay, do they have specific knowledge which they expect of their audience? Okay, do they expect you to know certain things? And tone, okay, tone. Is it formal? Is it polite? So formal writing is used when the text is aimed at a wide audience or maybe even a sophisticated audience. Okay, can you think? And you might want to impress someone. Can you think of any examples of formal writing? Informal writing is quite easy to do, but it can only be used for certain types of writing or certain types of audiences. Okay, so it might incorporate slang expressions, or a conversational tone, just sounding like you're just chatting to someone. Okay, so obviously a narrative could be informal, whereas a letter to maybe a politician or something is going to need to be formal. Okay, so your audience is going to impact on whether it's formal or informal. Now, tone can also describe how the piece feels. Okay, does the writer sound scared or anxious about it? Okay, are they trying to make us scared or anxious about it? Or do they sound appreciative, cheerful, comforting, compassionate? Okay, we've got a million different pieces of ways to describe positive tone. Do they sound adoring, admiring? Do they sound relaxed? Do they sound modest? They're not boasting about their accomplishments. Or do they sound flippant? They're just not taking something seriously. Okay, we've got lots of very sophisticated words down here. So they're positive ones where they like it. There's neutral ones where they don't really like it or dislike it. They're neutral, they're in between. And then we've got the negative ones. Does someone sound angry, annoyed by this thing? Are they sounding blunt? They're just talking blunt. This is what we must do. Do they sound sarcastic or resigned, like they've given up? Pretentious, like they're a bit full of themselves. All right, your job here is to fill in the table below. You've got to read these. These are all supplied. The cartoon, the zoos can have useful purposes. The acts, texts, these are all up on Google Classroom. Your job is to read through them. Tell me what type it is, okay? Drag those text boxes up into here. And then what's the purpose of it? Drag these text boxes up into here. Now, there might be more text boxes than there are texts. So you're going to need to really think about which ones you're leaving out. The audience. Who's the audience here? Okay? Who are they writing it for? The context. There's some questions to answer about each specific text. And then the tone. Tell me, does it sound formal or informal? Okay, does it use slang? Therefore, it's informal. Or does it use more sophisticated, proper language? And therefore, it's formal. All right, so that's your job for this one. Thanks, guys.